Welcome to the Wellness League podcast, the Try Me series. My name is Ella.
And I'm Amanda from TriFit.
Throughout this series, we'll be covering everything within the sport of triathlon, starting with your first race.
And right up to competing in sprint, standard distance, 70.3s and full Ironmans, giving you all the tips based on our experiences.
We are covering everything in terms of equipment that you need to train and race with.
So what's in your swim bag, Ella?
Oh, my swim bag is my favourite bag of all. Number one hot tip, keep it in your car. Because if I don't keep it in my car, it doesn't make it to the pool. So that is number one tip. Basics is a swim cap, especially if you're a girly with long hair. I always just put my hair in a bun or a plait, and that's the best way. Swimming goggles, always required. And then into the fancy training stuff, we were just laughing about when you need to train your upper body more. So I have a booty band in my bag. Amanda likes to use a bike tube, wherever it is.
Wherever it is, we'll find it. So you don't have to spend money. One place you don't have to spend money in triathlon, just an old tube tied up in a knot and around your ankles.
Love that. It's like, I feel like I'm like a shark with my tail when I swim with that on.
Let's go mermaid.
Tough. Shark sounds tougher though.
Oh, true.
A swimming buoy. Which way do you use this though? Because everybody I've spoken to uses it in a different way.
So it depends how much buoyancy you want. So if you want a lot of buoyancy, you put the bigger part at the bottom and it lifts you up more.
That's what I do.
And if you want less buoyancy, then you put the bigger part at the top. So it depends on how much buoyancy you have. That's actually a really good pool buoy because mine's a wincy one and it doesn't work so well.
Well, you know what? I always know my pool buoy is mine because it's got dog chews out of it. And because when I first got it, my dog was a puppy and she got straight onto it as I put it out the bag. Trusty bag. Waterproof one. Very important. A board?
Kickboard?
Yeah. I like to finish off my sessions putting the flippers on and using a kickboard just to like really burn out your legs. Talking about flippers. Just go to your local sports shop. I just went to Rebel Sport. They are great. They make you go very fast. And if you want a PB, just put your flippers on. But if you want an extra PB, put your flippers nice.
There's all different sorts of fins.
Yeah, so these are the standard ones you train in. And then the longer you get, the more it's like you go into scuba diving length then. Paddles are my favourite in my swimming group. I'm known as the girl who always puts the paddles on for the big set. But then I can keep up with the boys when I have them on. So I'm not complaining. So, and you know what? Hot tip, always have a spare hat in your swimming bag because you never know when you're going to rip one. Yes, that happens way too often.
They don't last forever.
Yeah.
But you do get them at races. So enter more races and you get more swim caps.
I have literally, they're everywhere in my house. I have so many swim caps from all the races I've done over the years. So on to the next, we're going cycling. What's in your cycling bag?
In my cycling bag, well, something that's nothing really to do with cycling, but a heart rate monitor. So I use that every time I'm cycling and race with it as well. So it does, I don't usually do swim training with it, but in a race or just straight out cycling, I have a heart rate monitor. I have cycling shoes. Now, it took a long time for me to get to cycling shoes. I was using the Triathlon ones, which are just Velcro.
Bottoms do you like?
It depends what fits into your cleats.
Yeah, but there's differences with one's meant to be road and one's meant to be mountain biking. I don't know which one's which, but I'm always just ridden with the small ones and I don't know any different.
I think they're mountain bike. I don't know that either.
Anyway,
but this is what I have on all of my, actually I have flat pedals on my mountain bike, so there you go, it doesn't count. These are my cycling shoes. So I used to use triathlon shoes all the time for cycling, and because I went to my first bike shop and I said I was doing triathlon, they gave me triathlon shoes. I didn't realize there was a difference. I do now, and now I wear cycling shoes and I love them, and for a long distance triathlon I will put cycling shoes on over triathlon shoes.
You know what I like about clicking in? They're able to pull up and push down, because when you're only wearing flat pedals you can only push down, but the power that you can use by pushing up through the pedal is very important, and it saves your legs ready for the run.
Yeah.
Swimming? Helmets?
The helmet. So mostly I have just the regular helmet that I would wear out on a road ride, but I actually have I was given by Cask an aero helmet.
Wow, watch out.
And it's very cool and very fast, and I feel very fancy. I feel like I've got all the gear and no idea. Love it because you don't have to wear glasses if you don't want to. It's got a visor on the front that actually magnetizes, so if it is bright, you can turn it up the other way.
That's cool.
So, and it's very light, very nice. So that's my helmet.
I also ride with sunnies on most of the time too, which is a hot tip.
Yep. I do have sunnies, depending on which helmet I've got, so I have my sunnies as well.
Nice.
And if I'm in a race, socks or no socks, well, that will come in more detail later.
Yeah.
The longer the race, the more likely I am to put socks on.
No, I'm a sock no matter what.
Okay.
I prefer it.
No, less 5Ks or less, no socks.
Really?
Gotta be fast. Be snappy.
Okay.
And get in and out. And I don't wear socks. Unless it's pouring with rain, then I would put socks on. But generally, 5Ks and less, no socks. Sometimes 10Ks, I'll go no socks. Anything longer, I wear socks. And I do like long socks. So triathletes used to be that they would wear the short socks. Mm-hmm. And if you were out riding, you could tell a triathlete because they would have the short socks on and a cyclist would have long socks. But I'm a long sock girl, and I like coloured socks. So
see, I'm a short sock for running, a long sock for riding.
Okay.
But when I'm racing, I just wear the same socks. I'm not changing then. Yeah. But I mean, like, when I'm training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cycling, also a cycling kit. So you need one with a good chamois, so you don't hurt your bits, and it's a bit more comfortable. So the triathlon, though, has a smaller chamois than the cycling kit. I'm now a 2-piece girl for triathlon.
Really?
Yeah, particularly long course, because if you need to go to the toilet, it's much easier just to pull your pants down rather than getting your sleeves out of a 1-piece suit.
Right.
So
you don't do what the boys do and just
wee on the bike.
Yeah.
Well, also when you're running.
True.
If it's a long run, you've got 21 Ks or 42 Ks and you need to go to the toilet, then it's just easy because you're sweaty and exhausted. So make it easy for yourself. So that's my cycling. Yeah, that's cycling. And obviously water bottles, and Ella spoke about that in a previous episode, having a water bottle. I always have one with water and then I will have another one with nutrition as well.
It's important to get one that's insulated so it stays cold while you're racing or on long training sessions, but also one that you can just squeeze in, because there's nothing worse than trying to undo a cap while you're riding, but you need your hands on the handle.
I have a pop one.
Oh, that?
I do, yeah, pop on the cap.
Yep.
And, yeah, so I often will race with, depending on the race, a distance, whether I just go with water or water and nutrition.
Yep.
So 1 or 2 bottles.
Yeah, nice. Big news time. We have a big brand new sponsor for the Wellness League podcast. So, can you guess who it is?
Hi, I'm Lana from Live and Breathe Active, or LAB, a small family-run business run by a group of passionate people that, well, we live and breathe this shit. Whether it's run, swim, cycle, or try, we make gear to get you through those tough training sessions. We help you get up before sunrise, and we will still be there with you well after sunset. You will see us before you hear us, with bespoke prints designed by artists just for you. We are driven by our values and are focused on performance and community. And we are super proud to be partnering with the Wellness League podcast in the Try series. Find out more or shop online at liveandbreatheactive.com. We can't wait to have you as part of the crew.
How good is that, hey? Discount codes and the link will be in the bio. But you know what? Let's go back to the pod. Onto the run. I run with just normal running shoes. The important thing I've learnt since I now started becoming a runner, don't ask for recommendations for other people what they wear to run in. Go to your local running shop and go and get a proper running test. That is the greatest thing I did.
What I did was actually went to the running shop, similar thing, but just tried on probably 15 different pairs of shoes, found the ones that I felt
good.
Yeah,
because all the stuff that people have been recommending actually wasn't what worked for me.
Exactly, same for me.
Yeah. There's many running shops, so you can just Google them. They're everywhere.
Yeah, worth getting some good advice and trying on lots of different sorts.
I agree.
But would you get the elastic laces? I use elastic laces in all my shoes.
Smart. And
you're popping pills. Oh, so we're not up to that yet.
You need your running hat. But then after every time I run, because I used to get lots of headaches after running, I pop pills. Anything, a hydration tablet. This is the Science and Sport one. Just pop it in some water, and I have that after a race, and I feel, or a run, after every run training, no matter what distance, I have it because I sweat a lot. But yeah, really saves a good headache.
Yeah. So there's a lot of there's a lot of equipment, and it can get very expensive. For a lot of things, you can buy secondhand. You could buy a secondhand bike, for instance. Don't get a secondhand helmet. Don't get a secondhand running shoes.
Yeah.
So your basics, it's worth spending the money on.
But there is a problem when you buy a bike. You do a race, you don't like the bike, then you have to go and buy a new one. That happens a lot.
Yes. You feel like, oh, that one went past me much faster. Maybe I need that bike.
But it's not always the bike that's the problem.
No, it's the person on it. So which comes to another point, consistency. Consistency is key. You can have all the equipment, and is that saying all the gear and no idea. If you're not training consistently, then it's not going to help you.
The other thing in terms of back to the bike, if it's raining outside, I'll jump on the trainer. I have a Wahoo Smart Trainer where I actually bought the one where you keep your tyres on because I hated the idea of flicking the tyre on and off because I like to use the bike for both. So, yeah. Or even a Concept 2 bike. I don't mind jumping on my bike there and it's just all set up and you start spinning. Yeah. It's just hard to do hills on that and stuff. That's just a good way to get your legs moving.
I have the dumb trainer, not a smart trainer, and make it harder by changing gears. Yep. And it works on rollers on the back, but a fixed part at the front. So it's very stable and it's easy to pack up and move anywhere. Take it anywhere.
But the other important thing is to have a coffee after you train. I'm a coffee before you train girl, but I'll have something after. Maybe I'll pop a pill.
Pop a pill. There is scientific research done on the effectiveness of caffeine after training. Yep. And it's positive. Caffeine after does help with your performance.
Nice one. Perfect.
You heard it here.
You might not hear much else here, but
have coffee.
So as we get deeper into the sport, there's an ever-changing products and equipment. But if you were more regularly going to do a 70.3 or an Ironman, what would you use different? So say, when did you change from a road bike to a TT bike?
I did my first 70.3 on a road bike, and it was after that first one that I knew I was going to get a TT, a proper TT bike. I actually was toying with the idea for that first one, but I just didn't have enough time to train, and also it was expensive. So it was after the first one, I went to the bike shop and had a look at all the different ones they had and bought one, and it gets a lot of use. So it was a good investment for me.
And we were talking about the difference in running shoes. So difference in your basic running shoes versus your carbon running shoes. What would you say about these? Your carbon ones?
These are my carbon shoes.
So a little bit more expensive, but how do you feel racing in your carbon shoes versus training in your normal shoes?
I wouldn't go without racing in my carbon shoes. They save me probably 10 to 20 seconds per kilometre faster. Having carbon shoes, I was told initially that they wouldn't be good for me because I don't run fast enough, but they're amazing. So I have carbon shoes for racing, I have carbon shoes for my speed work, and my two other runs I vary depending on how I'm feeling. If I feel like I'm not feeling great and I need a bit of a pick-me-up, I'll wear the carbon shoes. Otherwise, I'll go back to just regular shoes.
But you have to have a combination between training both pairs.
Yeah.
Because the carbon ones wear out quite fast. Right?
They do wear out fast and they're expensive. So like everything, but it gives you a good bang for your buck. Yeah. So you get a bit of time.
And also, don't forget your Strava. That's also a very important app to download. You can do it for free. But yeah, if you're a real triathlete, whether you're starting off training, it's good to see how you're going, does all your stats. In terms of watches, I have an Apple Watch, which I have trained for years with. I've upgraded, obviously, the series as they became waterproof and further on. So
I have a Garmin watch. I used to have an Apple Watch. I prefer the Garmin for training for triathlon, and it also does multi-sport. I do mountain biking, so you can separate the different sorts of bikes and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Garmin watch is really good.
And also, fun new one, quad lock case. I trained with this morning, having the Strava on my bike in front of me, and it was good because I got lost, so I had the map right in front of me.
Or a Garmin bike computer. Or there's other brands. I use a Garmin bike computer.
Yeah, nice.
to track everything because that's another saying, if it's not on Strava, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
You can follow me on Strava too if you like.
We will tag our Strava names in the bottom of the video. But yeah, triathlon is a very expensive sport. So buy the basics. So your shoes, your goggles, and everything else honestly could be secondhand in terms of your bike. And then as you get better and enjoy the sport more, then that's when you can upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even all the swimming equipment, a lot of pools have that you can borrow.
True.
I know it's at my pool.
Honestly,
you can
it's
borrow.
not even that expensive. You just go to Rebel Sport, I think each section, so like your paddles, they weren't more than $30.
Yeah.
And honestly, how much fun they
Yes.
are is worth more than $30.
It actually helps you feel what it's like to swim fast. So
Yeah.
if you're not a fast swimmer, putting those paddles on or putting fins on, you get that feeling that, yeah, I am a fast swimmer. This is what it feels like. It's great.
Enjoy it because it uses more of your bigger muscles around your back and everything, where I feel like I'm a bit stronger than... And many times I've gotten out of pool after a paddle session and my biceps are thumping for a few hours.
Nice.
So, cool. Thank you for listening. This podcast will be out in video form on Spotify and YouTube. Yes, it does come out on video on Spotify. Also, will be on Apple Podcasts in an audio form. But in the meantime, go and follow us on the socials. It is at the Wellness League Pod and at discovering_ET for me. And Amanda?
Mine is on YouTube, so TriFit with Tim and Amanda, and on Instagram, trifit.tim.amanda.
I'll tag everything in the show notes, but see you next Friday. Bye. Are you a triathlete if you don't pop pills after you race?
Well, that one's going in.
We have
But no, we are starting now, Ella.
Welcome.
Don't pop pills. No pill popping.
White powder's great.
You just have white powder like I do.
Is it fizzy white powder? Oh, it's an expensive
It goes
sport,
through my
not
mouth.
in that way.
It goes through my mouth, not my nose.
Comes back through.
Anyway.
Okay, let's...
Okay, back to it. We are sensible. No, we're having fun. Oh.